Hello and welcome to another chatty vlog. Today I wanted to open with some wonderful words from Alexandra Stoddard. And she basically says this in her wonderful book, Living Well Together. I've discovered that the best way to live a beautiful life with others is to begin by cultivating yourself. When you take good care of yourself, you free yourself to enjoy healthy relationships with others, and one of life's greatest opportunities is affirming the dignity and greatness in others. There is a direct relationship between how well we can learn to love others and how well we love ourselves. People, like newborn babies and gardens, need nurturing. I used to think that we are meant to love and give to others and that they, in return, would love and give to us. But I've grown to realize that this is not the way it works. Each of us must become impassioned, finding meaning and self-fulfillment in our own life's journey. We must mature to become dependent on ourselves, not on others, to take care of us. To discover this truth makes us free. I think of self-nurturing as a flame. Once we have a flame, we can pass it on and light other people's torches. Your original flame is never diminished. This fire, this strength and courage comes from deep inside each of us and becomes our gift to ourselves and others. The way we can share this inner light and energy is by living a full, happy life which we find exciting, challenging, and beautiful. If we have self-esteem, it has been hard-earned. When we find life a positive adventure, we know firsthand how wonderful it can be when we learn how to take charge of ourselves. We can radiate enthusiasm towards others because it is the outward symbol of our inner vision. When we have something of value to give, it is bursting for a creative outlet. When we are passionate, we have a need to share this excitement with others. We feel so good inside, we burst with energy and enthusiasm and want to spread the good news. A personal commitment to find life uniquely meaningful takes a certain kind of courage. You have to discover all the possibilities available to you, be open to change, and take risks as you chart a new world. Think of yourself as holding a key in your hand, a key you possess that unlocks doors for you, opening your world to more beauty and possibility. You do possess this key. Use it. Work hard to open as many doors as possible. Some you will want to close, and others you will want to keep open. You may want to invite other people inside. If we don't make the extra effort to treat ourselves well, we have no experience of the depth of possibilities open to us for sharing our best selves with others. Begin by nurturing your soul, mind, body, and spirit before you reach out to others. Nurture your soul by meditation. Your personal style might be to walk in the woods or along a beach or in a garden. Regularly feed your essence by reflection and contemplation, prayer, and reading. Decide what is the most fun way for you to keep your body fit and make a commitment to yourself to a regular weekly exercise regimen. Dance, swim, ride a bike, or play tennis. Take time to nurture your spirit by going to an art museum, writing, painting, or studying. Select several classics you haven't read and make a reading list for yourself with a schedule so you make time to enrich your mind. All these things are essential for us to remain balanced. Everything that will ever be constructive and good in our relationships depend on how well we follow the simple instruction, to thine own self be true. There is nothing narcissistic about caring for yourself when others depend on you. Yet all too often we forget this and feel guilty doing what has become the essential first step toward living beautifully with others. I finally finished cleaning the house. Everything is looking reasonably tidy, but it's still raining outside. I've just managed to finish my weekly home blessing now. It probably took me about 4 or 5 hours, so I have about an hour. Yeah, I have about an hour before the children come back from school. So I'm going to have a cup of tea, and then I'm going to check in on the seedlings. Got some seeds that they're growing. So we have here, this is some aster seeds. And these are dahlias that I'm growing from seed, thanks to my daughter who's growing them from seed. And then over here we have, I think this is the purple sprouting broccoli. Oh gosh, I have too much of it coming out at the same time, but never mind. And then this one is some more aster, some more flower seeds. We have here some carrots that my son has put in. I'm not sure these are going to work very well. And then there's some sunflower seeds, and it looks like there's a lot of stuff going on underneath here. I'm also pre-germinating some sweet peas, and the idea is that I will only plant out the ones that have germinated. So I have them on a wet paper towel over here in a Tupperware, covered over on the windowsill. And then once they get their first 2 false leaves, I'll be able to transplant them into a pot like this one. And it's still raining outside. It's raining. And I also have to clean these embroidered pictures. These are done using silk embroidery. I bought these from an auction. I got the 2 of them for only £10. It was a really good bargain, but all of this is embroidery. How incredible is that? Look at that. Even the waves on the water. And the other one, so the lot on the auction included these 2, and I think nobody else was interested in it, so I got it for £10. But look at that. How awesome is that? All embroidery. I just thought it was so inspiring. But I have to clean them up, and then I'm going to put them up in the hallway. There they are, next to each other. So I've been falling in love with embroidery, and when I saw those embroidered pictures on the auction, I just knew I had to get them, and I was very lucky that nobody else was interested in them. So my embroidery panel is coming along. I finished doing all of the pine cones. So this is a guided embroidery panel in the sense that it comes already pre-printed for you, and it has some colors. And I think it's a good one for beginners. I got this from a website called Madaher, and they do different sorts of ones. I chose the Christmas one because I need to finish it by Christmas, so it has to get done. I started doing the leaves over here, and I'm now doing the holly leaves that have a bit of a spike. It's not looking too good, but Yeah, it's coming along. I try and do this at least twice a week. So I'm working at a rate of about 1 to 2 leaves per week. So normally when I'm taking the kids to their lessons, so say during piano lesson or during guitar lesson, I'm busy trying to do the stitching. So hopefully I will get done with it in time for Christmas, and then it will go up. Okay, I'm going to make myself a nice cup of chamomile tea now. Today, I've decided not to make tomato soup. The children are getting a little bit tired of tomato soup. And so I'm just going to do a simple pasta in a tomato-based sauce that we can have with some dried Parmesan cheese. And that will be a little bit of a change today. But it's just one of those days, where I feel that I'm having to work just a little bit harder to have the same amount of pep and zoom and vim and vigor in order to keep at it. So I'm hoping for better weather tomorrow, frankly speaking. I'm hoping that the sun will come out. Tuesday is plan and play day for me as per the Fly Lady system. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I've got a lot of things that I want to get done and have fun with. Right, time for me to have some tea, and then I will skedaddle on with putting some of these pictures up and part of creating the spring landscape. After puttering around and doing a little bit of an upgrade on the landing, it was time to go back into the kitchen where I was making a huge carrot cake that's supposed to go into the lunches. So I'm using these carrots that were about to go off, even though I only bought them 2 days ago. And the first step is to top and tail them, peel them, and then grate them. And then I'll use 4 eggs, 400 grams of self-raising flour, and I will use 6 teaspoons of mixed spice and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I will also use 2 teaspoons of bicarbonate of soda, and to that I will also use 350 grams of brown sugar. By the way, the carrots were about 400 grams, and I also used 300 milliliters of any vegetable oil. In this case, it was sunflower oil. And so all the liquid stuff goes in with the brown sugar. So that's the oil and the eggs. And we will mix these up until they are nice and smooth. And then all the dried goods will then just get mixed together. So quick note there, you'll notice that I'm not actually using mixed spice. I'm using ground allspice because I didn't have any mixed spice, but I'm still not yet convinced that there's much of a difference between allspice and mixed spice. So there. And to add to this, this is an optional, sultanas or raisins. So I'll mix up all the dry ingredients just to make sure that you don't get a clump of cinnamon whilst you're eating. Though cinnamon is lovely, nothing is worse than getting a clump of baked cinnamon. I will add these to the mixed wet ingredients and just adding it a tablespoon at a time. And as I said, this is such a simple and easy cake to make, and my girls were helping me with making this. Carrot cake is something that has come into our rotation now that it is spring. And so once we have that thick batter, the next thing is just to add the carrots. So for me, I had about 450 grams of carrots in total. I had to use up all the carrots that I had because, as I said, they were beginning to go off. So far, I have not yet found an upper limit to the amount of carrots that I can put in. Basically, this recipe, you can go super, super carroty. It's incredible. So I've generally kept it to about 50 grams over the self-raising flour. I haven't done much more than that, but it still comes out really quite nice. And so once everything is mixed in, add in the sultanas. As I said, these ones are an optional extra. My kids are not particularly that keen on it. They'll still eat the carrot cake because it's so delicious, but I have a bunch of leftover raisins and sultanas from the Christmas period that I need to get through. So I'm currently just adding them to anything that I am baking lately. But the carrot cake, again, as I said, it tastes so good and it's so lovely and moist that I think you can get away with adding this. Another variation that I've sometimes done is to add some toasted pecan nuts or toasted walnuts to it, and that also makes it quite lovely. And so this will go into the oven at 150 degrees. I use a long rectangular tin. I am baking for 7 people here, and this is supposed to last us probably about 3 or 4 days, being used for 11s and also being used for the packed lunches. I always try and make sure that the packed lunches have something home baked in them. I baked at 150 degrees fan assisted for an hour. A normal oven would probably be 170 degrees Celsius, and it comes out looking so good and so delicious. By this point, the house was smelling incredible. I like to turn it upside down onto a cooling rack, and then I'll put the frosting over the super flat side of it. And it has this really beautiful rich brown color because of the dark brown sugar that we used, but you can just as easily use white sugar or light brown sugar. It just won't have the same dark brown color. I make a very simple cream cheese frosting to go over the top of it just by using some full fat cream cheese, a bit of lime, normally about half a lime. The juice from half a lime will do, or lemon. I normally would have lemon, but I only had lime at this time, so I used that, and about a tablespoon of sugar, and I just mix that in together. It comes together so quickly, and I'll just slather that over the top of the cake. And once we'd had dinner, this is what the kids had for dessert, and it was delicious. Everybody loved it. Thank you so much for visiting with us today. I hope that you enjoyed your visit as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Until I see you next time, lovelies, I wish you blue skies, health, and happiness. Bye.